Reese's is named after its creator, Harry Burnett H.B. Reese, who first introduced his tasty cups in 1928. But before his famous candy, Reese worked countless jobs to support his massive family of 16 children. That's right, 16 kids. His path to success was anything but simple, and he faced many hurdles along the way. Born in 1879, Reese grew up on a Pennsylvania farm, the only child of Welsh and English heritage. He did everything he could to support his parents, starting out by working the land. But young Harry was a natural entrepreneur, finding inventive ways to earn extra cash. Beyond farming, he milked cows to earn faster money and even built a pond where he raised frogs to sell to nearby restaurants. A resourceful kid from the start. By 1900, at the age of 21, Harry married and soon the family began to grow. He and his wife eventually had 16 children, 8 daughters and 8 sons. With such a large household, Harry faced constant financial pressures. Though his wife came from a well-off family, Reese was a dedicated family man who took responsibility for their livelihood. Adding to his responsibilities, Harry's mother and her 2 sisters lived with him until the end of their lives, meaning the house was always bustling. Typical family dinners included 20 people, often rising to over 40 with friends and extended family. While it was warm and lively, supporting this crowd required a lot of income, and Harry took on numerous odd jobs to make ends meet. Harry Reese worked tirelessly to support his large and growing family, taking on a series of demanding jobs. He managed operations at his father-in-law's cannery, oversaw a dairy farm, and even held a factory position. But money remained tight. Then in 1916, he noticed a job listing in the local newspaper. Milton S. Hershey, founder of Hershey Chocolate, was seeking managers for his dairy farms in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Eager for a more stable income, Reese applied. Little did he realize that accepting this job would set him on a path that would ultimately change his life and pave the way for his own legendary candy company. After a year with Hershey, Harry was assigned to manage an experimental dairy called the Round Barn, where he regularly met Milton Hershey himself. The farm used advanced milking machines, but the high cost led Hershey to shut down the operation in 1919. Reese left Hershey, though it's unclear whether he quit or was let go, and decided to strike out on his own. He started the R&R Candy Company, making chocolate-covered almonds and raisins to sell locally. Realizing he needed better equipment, he renamed it the Superior Chocolate and Confectionery Company and raised funds through stock, gathering the equivalent of $290,000 today. Despite the effort, the venture didn't succeed. With mounting pressure to support his large family and another child on the way, 40-year-old Harry felt defeated but wasn't ready to give up. After Harry's first canning business failed, he worked multiple jobs to support his family. One at a paper mill, another as a butcher, and a third canning vegetables. In 1921, however, his well-off father-in-law bought a house for Harry and his growing family, providing some stability. With a roof over their heads, Harry quit his jobs and returned to Hershey, where he started in shipping and was soon promoted to foreman. Yet even with this improvement, money was tight, so he decided to try his hand at candy making again. From his basement, Harry crafted various sweets, including hard candy, chocolate-covered nuts, mints, and 2 candy bars of his own invention, all coated in Hershey's chocolate and made with fresh ingredients. The basement business began to take off, and demand for his candies grew. This success prompted Harry to establish the H.B. Reese Candy Company. For several years, the company did fairly well, though it lacked a signature product and profits remained modest. But in 1928, everything changed. During a sales trip to Harrisburg, Harry met a store owner who mentioned a challenge. He couldn't keep chocolate-covered peanut butter candies in stock, as his suppliers struggled to meet demand. Recognizing an opportunity, Harry decided to develop his own peanut butter cups. The store owner asked if Harry could create a chocolate-covered peanut butter treat to keep up with demand. Without hesitation, Harry agreed. He bought a large 50-pound can of peanut butter and began experimenting at home, initially coating peanut butter balls in chocolate. While delicious, they were challenging to make in large quantities. After some consideration, Harry devised a more practical idea, forming his treat into cups rather than the challenging to produce peanut butter balls. Although chocolate-covered peanut butter cups had technically existed since 1907, they had yet to gain widespread popularity and were mostly seen as a generic candy in drugstores. Harry, however, was determined to make his version stand out. He focused on creating a distinct, unforgettable flavor and perfected his recipe to deliver a deliciously unique experience. To perfect the flavor, he started roasting his own peanuts, nearly to the point of burning, which gave the peanut butter a distinct taste. He called them peanut butter cups, or penny cups, selling each for a penny. They were an instant success, beloved for their sweet and salty balance. Soon, Harry was selling 5-pound boxes to local stores, and by 1935, his business was thriving enough for him to pay off his debts and leave his job at Hershey's. Just before his 77th birthday, Harry Reese passed away from a heart attack, leaving his company to his 6 sons, but excluding his daughters. Tensions erupted as the brothers struggled for control of the business. Meanwhile, Reese's was thriving, but during World War II, sugar shortages hit hard. To keep the company afloat, Harry focused solely on his best-selling peanut butter cups, which required less sugar. This decision ultimately saved his business. The merger between Reese's and Hershey made perfect sense. The companies were local, shared the same chocolate, and their founders had been friends. After years of disputes, Harry's sons sold Reese's to Hershey, receiving a 5% stake and 666,000 Hershey shares, worth about $24 million then, or over $200 million today. By 1969, Reese's peanut butter cups became Hershey's best-selling product, with over 300 million cups sold annually. With the launch of the iconic 1970s, as Reese's peanut butter cups gained popularity, competitors tried to create similar products, but Reese's maintained its edge, becoming a household favorite. Business was booming, and Harry's vision led him to begin constructing a large, state-of-the-art factory in Hershey, which was completed in 1957, though he sadly didn't live to see it. By the late 1950s, Reese's had transformed into a nationally recognized brand, with annual sales exceeding 15 million units. However, despite the success, the Reese brothers were divided on the company's future. The older brothers wanted to sell and secure financial stability, while the younger ones hoped to keep the family business intact. News of a potential sale eventually reached Hershey executives, who recognized the opportunity and moved quickly to make an offer, seeing Reese's as a valuable addition to their own product line. "You got peanut butter on my chocolate" campaign. Reese's quickly rose to become the top candy in the US and has remained beloved ever since. Today, millions enjoy Reese's in all its varieties, from big cups and miniatures to white chocolate and caramel flavors. The Reese's brand has expanded to include cookies, Reese's Pieces, and even cereal. But despite the growth, the classic peanut butter cup remains #1, just as H.B. Reese envisioned. Then your potential customers are only limited by the world's population. This is the story of Harry Burnett Reese and his iconic peanut butter cups. Determined to provide for his large family, this resourceful entrepreneur did whatever it took to succeed. In doing so, he created a mouth-watering legacy that endures to this day. Reese's peanut butter cups, crafted in Harry's basement nearly a century ago, are now sold worldwide, yet they still capture the essence of his original creation. You can imagine that Harry would be proud. Did you know the story behind Reese's? And have you tried one? Let us know in the comments. Also, tell us which business story you'd like to hear next. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out our channel for more inspiring stories of business success.